So what the Cassius King solos of these were 2002, 2003 and 4. 2002 we started jamming together without Ed and Al.
Yeah, Kiss songs.
So 17 years ago.
Okay. So, dude, Dan, Jason, dude, Jimmy,
yeah.
and Ron.
Hey, Jason.
So, Jason Gooley here, MetalDevOps, live in, we're freaking New Jersey right now, okay? I travel a lot, as you all know, and I actually got turned on to these guys by my friends in the Old Bridge Militia. So, a couple months ago, I had reached out and I said, hey, Dan, you know, I wanted to see if maybe we can sync up and do an interview while I'm down here at the Old Bridge Comedy Show and doing all that stuff. And he was kind enough to say yes, and then invited me out to the studio here, where they're actually but jamming and practicing, because they obviously tour and do all their stuff with Vessel of Light. So I want everybody to introduce yourselves if you're cool, and then we'll kind of have a conversation and see what's up.
Dan Lorenzo, guitar.
Boom.
Jimmy Shulman, oh my God, I picked this up like that. Bass.
Ron Nicky, drums.
Dude, so some of these folks were within Overkill, playing the drums, you said, for what, 8 or 9 years? And then yourselves, Hades, right? You're playing in Hades for, what, I mean, you opened for every major band.
Every major band, pretty much, except for Metallica.
Dude, how much did that have felt, man? Freaking, you said Megadeth, and I think you even said Slayer, and dude, that's insane.
Yeah, it was really fun. Unfortunately, when we opened up for Slayer, Jimmy was home or in the hospital recuperating with a broken leg.
Car crash.
Got the opportunity to open up for Slayer the day before the first Hades album came out, which was Resisting Success. The show with Slayer was February 1st, 1987, and the album came out the 2nd. And it was, I had 2 different versions of Hades, like the Old Bridge Militia would remember the original old Hades with different singer, Paul Smith, and different guitar player and bass player. But long story short is I met Jimmy in 1985 and Ron in 2000. And Ron was in Overkill after he was in Hades, but we kind of always... I would bother him to learn some Kiss covers because Ron and I were talking. We love Cheap Trick, we love Kiss, we love old Aerosmith. So Ron always loves jamming covers, as do I. And that sort of made an impetus for Cassius King for we kind of recorded covers like I told you. But eventually it led to, within the last year, I think, Jimmy, maybe the last year and a half, 2 years, Jimmy and Ron joined Vessel of Light for our 3rd album, Thy Serpent Rise, which is the only guy who's not here is Nathan Opposition because he lives in Cleveland.
Sure, which is closer to me, you know, obviously being outside of Chicago. But
right.
I'm sure I'll track him down one of these days and we'll sync up with him.
Great guy.
Well.
Nice.
Dude, so I listened to a lot of the music that you had out. You had the EP, and then you had the Vessel of Light CD, the Woodshed. So if you haven't checked that out, my God, dude, it's on Apple Music as well. I don't know if you guys use Spotify, if it's on there or not, but
it is.
It's everywhere, right? So I'm a big Apple Music person, and I put on those songs and I started watching the videos on YouTube. You got to check out the videos for Son of Man, and some of these other ones are freaking unbelievable, man.
Meat and Bone is the new one.
Meat and Bone is the new one. So it was so neat because, you know, I put this on and I felt kind of bad because I had never
You should feel horrible.
I feel horrible. Matter of fact, I'm going to go jump off this building after this interview.
I just want to get you a little bit after.
But he did, you know, they did share some cool fruit snacks with me earlier, which was fantastic. And thank you for that.
I have some more in the bag.
You got some more fruit snacks? You know, the little fruit snacks, the island fruit snacks, the Welch's? Oh my God, they're amazing. But I felt horrible because I didn't hear the music. But I think in the same sense, it was awesome because I got to hear it for the first time and I hit that and I never put it down. You know, I got it on my phone every time I'm driving around. They're on all the time. They come in, the Woodshed comes on. And what was the Part of My Plan? Was that called? Dude, unbelievable.
Yeah, thank you.
It's like, I hate to say this, but it's like if you took like all the gnarliness of all the metal bands that you absolutely love, took that together and kind of added in a sprinkle of like freaking Motorhead and Zombie, and dude, it's freaking so heavy. I love it. And I got to sit in here a little bit, and fortunate enough to sit in the studio while they're jamming. It was freaking amazing.
You're like the first person who ever did that, by the way. I don't think we've had anybody at our rehearsals other than the guy.
Thank you. And you're here. He said it's okay to use the video footage for the rehearsals.
Absolutely, yeah.
But no, I mean, it's been amazing, dude. So tell me a little bit about what you guys got going on, because I know that you're going to be doing some songs and some shows soon.
Yeah.
And I would love to come and actually see you live somewhere at some point.
So would we. It's a little bit hard because Ron stopped touring. he was touring the world with Overkill.
Yeah.
He retired from touring the world maybe just a couple years ago. I kind of retired touring the world from 1994 when I fell in love. So it's not like we're really touring.
Yeah.
We're trying to do as many shows as we can, but the first time that we played live was the most impressive thing I've ever seen from these guys. We had an opportunity to open up for Life of Agony in Silvertune.
Oh, wow.
Joey Z was a big Nonfiction fan, which was my band after Hades. And we got the opportunity, after Nathan and I recorded Woodshed in the first EP, I said, this is too good, we got to play live. But the hard thing is, we can't rehearse with our singer living in Cleveland.
Right.
So Jimmy, myself, and Ron, we rehearsed, 6 or 7 times. And then Nathan flew into New York City. We played the Bowery Ballroom, sold out show, and things could go horribly wrong, but it didn't. It went great, So that kind of said, all right, we got to do this again. That was fun. So then we booked a show at Lucky 13 in Brooklyn. We played Dingbats in Clifton, and then we played something called the New England Stoner and Doomer Festival.
Okay.
Stoner and Doom Festival, and that was in Connecticut, and that was really fun. And then we said, all right, that was fun. Let's do that again. So we booked some more shows. We just played Brooklyn again. Where did we play? We played down the shore. The Old Bridge Militia, some of them were there. Some of them weren't there. Bob Ojo was there, though. We played a place called the High... what was it?
The Hot Grill.
What?
The Hot Grill. Was it?
The place, the Benefit we did.
That was the place to go after the show, the Hot Grill.
Where was that club we played the Benefit with Turbo? The
Headline.
Headline, yeah. So now we're gearing up. We're going to do some more shows in March. We're playing down the shore, Long Branch. March 7th, I believe, and then March 8th, we're going to be in Queens, New York.
Oh, nice. So now my goal in life is to try to see if I can finagle them to come to Chicagoland somehow. But I don't know how we'll do it, but we'll see if we can figure that out somehow.
Well, Nathan's halfway there. So
so maybe we'll all just go practice at Nathan's house, and then it's close enough to Chicago where we
can do that.
Dude, so it's great. So I mean, you've been playing in bands for pretty much your whole life, from based on the interview that we talked about before, and what all drove you guys to start playing together? You said you met, in what 85 in 2000.
You want to talk about
so
that?
how'd that all come?
It's for the most part. I mean, I auditioned for Hades in '85, and pretty much the band was changing at that point. Like you were saying, there was an original Hades, I guess that the Old Bridge Militia guys know, and he just formed a new band, and from that point forward, we did our first record, and the band just took on a heavier tone, and just basically a speed metal thrash band, which was fucking great.
It's the best type of music.
And playing and open up for these guys and stuff like that. You say Megadeth and Anthrax and shit. And exciting time. And, it's long story short, put out another record, and we broke up too soon, I think. Broke up on a European tour. And the 90s brought us, Nonfiction?
Right, yeah. I was doing Nonfiction, and then I got married. I actually sold my equipment and everything for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
I didn't play guitar. And then in 1999, my guitar tech, Dan Garber, gave me an acoustic guitar. I'm like, I don't want this, because if I pick
Once
it up...
you get that itch, it's going back.
Yeah, I wrote the opening riff to a song that became Save Yourself, and I'm like, shit, man, here I go again. And we got to deal with Metal Blade, which we were kind of surprised about. We did 3 records for Metal Blade. Jimmy and Ron came in on the end of that record called Hades Damnation. And, that was so much fun with having Ron in Hades. I mean, he was like the perfect drummer for Hades, but he's a lot younger than us. We didn't even know he was out there,
Right.
But at least it eventually happened. And then, like I said, Ron joined Overkill. And now both Ron and Jimmy are on Vessel of Light, Thy Serpent Rise, which just came out. And it's out in all formats, everything.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Because, it was so funny because you mentioned Overkill, and, I was on this Megadeth cruise, which was, I think, October 13th, which I just hit 40 on October 13th, which was my 40th, and everybody here has more hair than me, and they're all older than me. It's not fair. But, I'm on this cruise, and obviously Overkill was on this cruise, and Bobby Blitz comes out, and I'm literally, my wife somehow talks me into going to Mexico, because it's part of this cruise, and going horseback riding.
Right.
And, I'm like... I could do this, I was freaking out, man. I get on this horse, I thought I was going to die. First I'm like, all right, I'm going to get on there like Billy the Kid, and I'm going to do all this stuff. I thought I was going to fall off a mountain and die. But I come back, I'm covered in dirt. We're all just filthy because of all the dust and everything. And I'm walking on the boat, and here comes Bobby Blitz, dude.
Right.
And I'm like...
Did he think you were me because you were covered in dirt?
Dude, he might have. But, I didn't have a hat, so he's like, no, it's clearly not him. He doesn't have the hair. But I was coming on the boat, and I was like... what's up, dude? You got 2 seconds for a photo? He's like, yeah, dude, sure. And we did a quick photo, and I look like shit. And then he comes off of the boat, and then I'm in there talking to my buddy Tom Hazard, and we were talking about how I'm going to start partnering with the Old Bridge here and try to do some stuff for good and giving back. And really, working at Cisco, we have a lot of opportunity to be able to do philanthropy and donating of time, and even doing things like coat drives and boot drives for kids who don't have anything, right?
Great.
So I'm going to partner with Old Bridge, and we're going to try to do this thing. And then Cindy had mentioned, hey, you should reach out to Dan, which was kind of funny, right? Because we went through this whole thing, and now it comes back full circle. I'm sitting here in New Jersey in the studio talking about how heavy this metal is, and it's amazing.
And getting back to Bobby Bliss, we got to always tip our hat to him because he was nice enough to bring nonfiction on a European tour and an American tour back in '93, and Blitz and I stayed friends, and Dee Dee as well. But Blitz is he loves Vessel of Light, and when he took over Sirius XM's Hostile Takeover, he played whatever songs he wanted, and he played Son of Man, which was awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, dude, that's fantastic. The funny thing is, I'm working on Metal Joe over there. He's going to be working
Joe's over there?
Joe's over there somewhere.
Oh, wow.
He's a little short. But so he's working on getting Bobby to come onto the show, too.
Right,
so we're
right.
going to talk about just all the cool things that those guys are doing, maybe even see if we can do some stitching into some of the conversations we're having here today.
Yeah, definitely. Please ask Blitz about Vessel of
Dude,
Light.
I will for sure. And I think
Don't
it's
tell
gonna
him
be
you
fun.
know me, though.
I'm like, who's this Dan guy? I don't know who this Dan guy is, man. But, again, here we are. One of the things that I always ask when I do these interviews is, you had mentioned that you guys haven't really rehearsed or practiced together.
Never with the singer.
And never with a singer, and not for a long time either,
Yeah.
How does technology change the way that you guys do your jobs today, right? Because, obviously...
This is embarrassing, but when I record songs, I have a recording unit at my house, and I'll put it on a CDR because I don't know how to make an MP3. Okay, I just got my first cell phone 5 years ago because I left the magazine business for the tattoo business, and they said they would pay it. So I've never paid for a phone bill in my life. I never wanted to pay for a phone bill. So I always got a company to pay for it. But it's so pathetic. I will either burn a CD or use my cell phone to make a little video of the audio, and I'll send it to Jimmy and Ron and be like, hey, what do you think of this new riff? It's so pathetic.
Oh my God. So it's so funny that you say that because I'm sitting there and here I'm a technology guy, and I'm fortunate to have a little studio set up at home and, the whole Pro Tools, Logic, all this junk. And what do I use 99% of the time is the voice recorder on my iPhone to set it on my leg and play some riff to try to record it so I don't forget what the heck I came up with, right? So it's so funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah, every day, once, a few times during the day or whatever, I'll get pretty much just a text of a guitar, his hands, and, him just saying something random. What do you think? And he's playing and stuff like that, and then I could pretty much text back, that's great, let's work on something like that, but it's just like his midsection, the guitar.
I'm very proud of my midsection.
Yeah, but I'm working on my midsection. But that's so funny though because everybody has a different way of doing things, right? And it was one of the things I asked Chuck Billy from Testament, he was fortunate enough, he's going to be coming on the show too as well. Was I said, how does technology change the way that you all get together? And they said they don't even really play together, which is kind of interesting. They all send songs back and forth, and then after everything's said and done and recorded, then they get together to practice for the tour.
That's pretty much what we're doing now.
We did with the recording.
With Woodshed, because Nathan lives in Cleveland, he and I only rehearsed once. And I asked this guy named J-Rod, who is a tech head, he knows how to do things. I said, dude, could I play the album, do the guitar parts first to a click, and then we record? He's like, it happens all the time. I'm like, really? And I told Blitz about this, and Blitz is like, I don't know about this, be careful, it doesn't sound right, you're going to lose the swing. So I'm like, you know what? I recorded my parts so fast. Yeah. I probably recorded all my guitar parts in Woodshed, and if the album's 40 minutes, I recorded it in 90 minutes, right? So I send everything out to Nathan, and he plays drums. But now the same thing. Now Ron, I don't know if he's goofing on me, but I played to a click track first. Ron went in and did the drums. Then Jimmy played bass. Then Nathan sang. Then we mixed it. And Ron's like, who played? You don't believe it's you on the new album, right?
It took me a long time to run the parts. I don't remember playing any of those.
Well, that's the thing, because we recorded them at different times of the winter and stuff like that. And for the most part, the same thing. I'm like, I don't remember recording that song.
Which
But
cracks me up.
Yeah, well, we all did our own, separate recording. I guess Nathan sang in Cleveland, and then, it was just all mailed to J-Rod, and he mixed it, and it's like, sounds like, we've been playing together forever.
Right,
And
yeah,
then
it's
recorded
tight.
live.
It's so tight, but I think, Ron, like, you've never done albums like that before where the guitars were recorded first to a click, have you?
We used to do just way down like a scratch track guitar and bass. And then,
Right. When he was an Overkill. So, yeah. So this was a first for Ron. I thought he was joking with me that he doesn't remember playing drums on the album, on Thy Serpent Rise. But it is him, if anybody's wondering.
And it sounds
Definitely
amazing.
Ron Lipnicki.
I mean, what's so funny? It's like,
Fact. Wait, can I do this?
Oh, yeah, what do we got? Well,
The album cover by Ruben Barahona. How cool is that?
and here I was sitting on it the whole time over there, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting. So one of the things that I wanted to mention was that, okay, you talked about Nathan being in Cleveland.
Right.
How did you sync up with him originally? Because you guys have known each other for, you said, quite a long time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
at the minimum, 85 is quite a lot of years, and then
85 years.
is 19 right there.
What's that?
So almost 20 years.
So Nathan, my wife and I are straight. We don't smoke pot, but we like stoner rock, particularly my wife. And I was going to Austin 3 years ago, like right about exactly 3 years ago in December.
Yeah.
And I Googled stoner rock Austin, and this song popped up called The Opposition by a band called Ancient Wisdom. And I listened to it, and I'm like, it's devil lyrics. I don't like devil lyrics, but that was a catchy song. I'm like, I actually want to hear it again, which I've never done in my whole life.
Sure.
I never listened to a song in succession, because I wanted to. I heard it again. I'm like, I don't like devil lyrics, but man, that song is catchy, right?
Right.
I listened to the song The Opposition 35 times over 3 days.
Holy crap.
And then I listened to another song called Deathlike, and I'm like, this band is unbelievable. These are hit songs, but they're praising Satan, which they're not going to be hit songs.
Right.
And I have a Jesus tattoo. I'm wearing a virgin. In fact, I'm wearing this on our first album cover, I think. But I thought Nathan was so talented, so I started writing him, like, what are you doing with this band? He's like, we don't have a record deal. We moved back to Cleveland. It's pretty much over. I'm like, all right. I'm like, but you're great. I'm going to interview you. He's like, I got nothing going on. So we kept talking. Then he's like, hey, what's going on with the blah, blah project? I'm like, what is that? He's like, that's mine and your new band. I'm like, oh, we're doing a band together? And now, when I think back, he's 20 years younger than me. I secretly wanted him to start a band with me, but I didn't want to ask him.
Right.
Because I feel like if this young kid who I respect says no, I'm going to feel like a dick. You know?
Right.
So I really didn't want to ask him, and I really wasn't really playing anymore. So he asked me, and then I drove out to Cleveland, and we had one rehearsal. It was really cool. And then a month later, we're in the studio. We recorded 6 songs in 7 hours. I drove home. I was at Newark Airport, got delayed 12 hours for a flight. I was taking my wife to Hawaii for our 20th anniversary, and I got a record deal in 12 hours.
Oh my gosh.
With 2 songs. And it wasn't a big record deal, but it was already not the record.
That's pretty awesome, though. I mean,
yeah, it was pretty amazing. And then I sent the record to Jimmy. I'm like, I don't know, is this great? I think it's great. He's like, it's awesome, And then we did Woodshed, like I said, and then Ron and Jimmy, fortunately, they joined for the new album.
Okay, so you got to explain something to me. The cover of Woodshed.
Okay.
there's like, half of a body and some stuff like that. What does that entail and mean?
Legally, I'm not allowed to tell you because on
the grounds that he might have to kill me.
I never told Jimmy this. The song Woodshed. I think I had the adjective watershed, like a watershed moment. And then when you rehearse a lot, you're woodshedding. Yeah. So I like the sound of woodshed, even though it wasn't exactly. And I said to my father-in-law, I said, if I said to you woodshed, what does that mean? And my father-in-law said, oh, that's an old-time saying, like, if you're going to go back to, get your ass kicked in the woodshed. I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, literally, I'm thinking of a wooden shed, out there, So
woodshed is basically if somebody was going to do a nefarious act, which is a very big word that I probably mispronounced, they kind of do it in hiding in their woodshed, Yeah. So we told the record label that, and I had envisioned a woodshed, a really scary woodshed in the middle of the woods, but some Italian guy got paid. He's like, I know this is not what you asked for, but this is what I have in mind. They were like, that's really, and then I'm like, that's kind of cool. Yeah. And then Nathan's like, I love it. I'm like, okay, I think I love it too. So that's pretty much.
There we are with that.
Yeah.
Oh man. So are you guys going to be doing? I know you mentioned you're going to be playing together soon.
The Brighton Bar on Friday, March 7th, I believe it is, and Saturday, March 8th, we're playing what's it called, Blackthorn 51. Ron played that before.
Queens,
Queens, New York. Okay, cool. So being from the Midwest, and that's in March, so I might have enough time to actually just come back out and check out all the shows.
Try to build around those shows too.
If Ron's in 18 bands right now, he's actually in Whiplash, and Vessel of Light that are playing a lot. He also plays with a guy named Metal Mike who played in Halford.
Oh, wow.
So I'm always, saying, Ron, man, we want to do shows, but it is kind of hard because we don't get paid big money, and Jimmy and I don't exactly have a lot of equipment, so like everything has to fall in line. But
Sure.
we would like to play more shows.
So I think, and if anything else, dude, I mean, hopefully this gets some more fans out there, because I'm telling you, I listened to this music out of nowhere. I just turned it on, I started watching YouTube videos, and then I downloaded all the stuff through Apple Music, and now it's just on repeat in my car, and I love it. So hopefully everybody out there loves it too as well. Now, one last thing that I wanted to ask is, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I hear you guys are cool enough to let me come here and hang out.
We're really cool, I know.
You guys are so cool, man. I mean, fruit snacks. Who gives you fruit snacks? Heavy metal fruit snacks, man. I mean, God, it's unbelievable. So, the tuning.
Yeah.
It sounds really heavy. Is it like a C, or you're in D, or what?
Yeah,
what do you
most of this new album is in C. I've tuned as low as B, and people, like, that's some new trendy thing to tune down, but he'll tell you, I was tuning down to C sharp back in 1985, 86, only because, you didn't even know this, with Paul Smith, we used to tune down to D, unbeknownst to us, because we didn't have tuners. And when the singer's singing a couple days in a row, it's like, maybe we better tune a little bit lower. Like nobody realizes. Do you know Motley Crue tunes as low as we do?
Really?
It just doesn't sound as heavy because they're playing those poppy chords, you know?
Right.
But I like to think that even though I'm not a great musician, I like my guitar style and my sound. But generally, with tune to C, and I'm using a Gibson Les Paul, and it just sounds heavy because the riffs are heavy. Yeah.
So you mentioned Motley Crue, and I know that there's a lot of stuff going on out there with Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Coming back. How do you feel about that the whole thing?
You're an asshole if you say you're gonna quit and then you come back. But I've done it 5 times in my life, so I totally understand.
Own it at that point,
Yeah.
right?
I would love to get mad at Motley Crue, but I've done the same damn thing my whole life. I was like, no more, never again. Jimmy, he was done with music. And what happens?
Yeah, look what happens.
Here we are.
We didn't sign a cessation disagreement, but we just.
No, but you want to know something funny? It's like probably right before you started dealing with Nathan and stuff, and you formed the band. I think the 3 of us were getting together in New York, and we were just playing. We were jamming
Just
Kiss
for
songs.
fun.
Yeah.
Just for fun, Kiss songs. We were going to tell a whole bunch of friends to come down and sing.
Right.
And it was just going to be this big
Right.
party for a few hours.
Forgot about that.
And it went like maybe we had a few rehearsals. And I went to the bathroom and I came back and he's already playing like riffs with Ron.
Yeah.
And I knew, I said, this is the beginning of a band.
Yeah,
this is
this
the
is it.
beginning, because he got the bug with the Kiss songs. And that
I didn't think that. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Totally, because you kept sending me riffs. What do you think? What do you think? And I'm like, he's got the bug. He's got
It's
the bug.
back. It's done.
And then they asked, they became a live band. They wanted to be a live band, and asked Ron and I to join.
And then if you want to go to the other end, Jimmy will tell you this. We're not embarrassed to say this. In 1989, we ended a Hades European tour. We broke up in the middle of the tour. We finished the tour. And I promised myself I would never talk to Jimmy again. He hated me. So it's funny, man. It's like again, I want to get mad at Motley Crue. I want to get mad at Kiss. I think it's not cool if you deceive the fans.
Right.
But we've said no more Hades shows, and then we do, and we say it again, we do it again.
And then there were 4 more albums.
Yeah. So it's very, we love it. We love it, and I understand what Motley Crue's doing.
Yeah,
and plus they're making a little bit of money doing it too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing, and I would imagine that even the fans who think that they signed this contract, we're never going to play again, are still fans.
Yeah.
And they still want to hear the music,
yeah.
right? So you mentioned Kiss, which I think was really cool, and on the Mega Cruise, one of the things that was really neat on the last day, a majority of the band members from all the different bands got together, and it was a Kiss jam for like 2 hours.
Don't tell us that.
Freaking Scotty in, dude. It was everybody from. I mean, the singer from Queensryche was on the drums, which was amazing. And then we had my buddy Tom Hazard in there, obviously David Ellison out there playing bass. Calico Cooper, Alice Cooper's daughter, comes out singing. Chuck Garrick, I think his name is the lead. He was Alice Cooper's, he still is Alice Cooper's bass player, but also is a singer for a band called Beasto Blanco. So he started this band, and Calico Cooper and him it's an amazing band. Great music. All these different band members come out and they start playing all this music, and it's all Kiss, right?
Right.
It's great.
And that was the thing. It's like one thing you could always agree on is Kiss, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Dave was saying having the throat cancer, he's healing, so he couldn't make it onto the cruise, and it was one of those things. Well, it wouldn't be right to do Megadeth without Dave, right? So everybody basically came out together and did Kiss songs. It was the coolest freaking night.
Let's mention this then. We have a little side project band called Cassius King. Like I told you, I don't like to promote it too much because I don't want to,
It's for fun, right?
I don't want to, take away anything from Vessel of Light, but there's a version of Kiss Larger Than Life. We have a video for that of Kiss Cassius King Watching You by Kiss. So we have some like Kiss videos on YouTube people can check out.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to check
we
that.
actually
I'll
made some
send it to
CDs to that.
Yeah, well, I gave
we
a
gave
hand
away,
out one.
but I remember in this room probably we were playing like 15 years ago.
2002,
We were playing,
I
we were
think.
playing like Snowblind,
Yeah.
Going Blind. We were playing all these. we were
Whatever
just
song
playing
makes you go
songs.
blind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just playing all these songs back then, and we recorded them as well. It's like
It's so
all
fun.
about
It's
Kiss.
so fun.
Do you look back and be like, man, no, I wonder what exactly did I have something set at, or did I, how was I tuned, or, because obviously, stuff changes so much over the years, I mean, you mentioned drop C tuning and things like that, and obviously the gear has changed and evolved over
No, it was the
years.
same tuning. I pretty much always used lower tuning, and then for my solo records, I tuned even lower than C, because I could sing a good Gene Simmons, but not in E flat. Kiss tunes to E flat. I needed a little bit lower, so that's one of the reasons why I tuned a little bit lower.
Got to protect those vocal
Yeah,
cords.
I'm not a singer, but I can sing like
sound
Gene
like you have
Simmons.
I pretend like the best of them, and
Yeah.
I can sing. We get together, do some songs, and it was funny. I was actually at a buddy of mine's house who lives over here in Union, and he's a guitar player for a couple Metallica tribute bands, and he works at a company called Onico. And Onico basically is now the parent company for like Pioneer and all the receivers and stuff that you see in all these studios and whatnot. And he's sitting there, he's like, well, hey, come downstairs, we're going to jam. So we're picking around on the guitar and everything, and he has a whole karaoke set up. So we went to bed, I think it was like 5:30 this morning, doing karaoke, just singing karaoke songs. And it was just obtuse songs like, I Touch Myself by the Divinals, and, things like She's Like the Wind by Patrick Swayze, and things that have nothing, I mean, it was just
Right.
odd, you stay up too long, you start doing stupid stuff,
You
But anyway,
sang a Patrick Swayze
it's
song?
Patrick Swayze song, and then we were actually tonight we were thinking about doing it again. I was going to do some Suddenly by Billy Ocean.
Okay.
That's not an easy one either.
No, they're all kind of crazy. But I figure, I cut it off at about 5:30. I'm like, I probably should get some sleep, otherwise, we're going to be up all night, and I wouldn't be able to make it here with these guys today. So. Thank you all so much.
Thank you,
What I'd love
Jason.
to do is get a bunch of links and stuff from you guys, put some stuff down in the videos and everything, and this is going to go out on the website and everything, and I'd love to come out and see you jam. And if you ever make it to Chicagoland, let me know. I would love to stay in touch, and we can keep doing more of these things, man. Dude,
Great meeting you.
thank you all so much, man. You guys have been awesome.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
One
Thank
question
you.
before you go.
Yes.
What pizza's better? You like the Chicago deep dish or the thin crust on the East Coast?
Ooh,
no
that's a
comparison.
tough one.
No
That's a tough one.
comparison.
So the answer is yo, which is yes and no. So I love them both, right? The deep dish pizza, it's like its own, it's like a sandwich. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like this freaking thick, and you can't find a replacement for
Wait,
that.
can I answer this question for you?
Yes.
201. 201, baby.
Oh, dude, see?
North Jersey.
See, you know the answer for that one, right? Right? But at that point, the funny thing is, I've come to find out, we have Lou Malnati's out by us, we have like Giordano's, all the Chicago pizza places. But if you go and order the thin crust from these things, they're amazing.
Oh, yeah, right.
They're amazing. But I went to, what was it? Was it John's in Manhattan?
Yeah.
Where everybody's writing their names on the wall and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
The pizza's like that thin,
Yeah,
but it
it's
is
real
the
thin.
best.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
love
pizza
the
slices
New
were
York
like
pizza.
friggin' that big, and it was the best pizza.
We gotta go out for some slices sometime.
Oh man, that would be fantastic, man. So the funny thing is, after all this, we talk about pizza and we talk about these different things, and I make a quick joke because one of the last videos I did, I was talking to Dirk Verbeuren from Megadeth, right? So he's a drummer, 100% vegan, right? And since that video till today, I come in to find out that I had allergies and I'm allergic to dairy and cheese.
Everybody
and
is.
eggs,
It
right?
shouldn't be.
And it's killing my stomach is just killing me, man. So I basically just cut it all out. And now I'm vegan, and I feel like strange.
Awesome.
I feel strange,
I'm
but
pescatarian.
dude, I feel fantastic.
Yeah,
though, right? I mean,
you don't get sick anymore. if
no,
you stop
not at
eating
all.
meat. No, it's
And I
impossible.
sleep like a baby, and even when I don't sleep, I find out that I wake up with more energy than I've
Yeah.
had, and I can go longer, and
That's
it's crazy.
switched.
But
Ron
I
is
did
thinking about it. Ron's been thinking about it.
it's worth it. The only thing, so now I had pizza. We had pizza last night. I just had to pull the cheese off, but then I can
Yeah, I
still
can't
do
do
crust.
that.
And they have some really cool pizza where you can get all the veggies and all that shit and
Yeah.
stuff. Sorry, but,
There's a place down the road, you would swear it was meat, Veggie Heaven. They have like a sesame chicken. But to
Yeah,
me,
it's
that
great.
yeah, dude, it's unbelievable, man. So that's the thing. Like things change over the years, I mentioned I hit 40 not that long ago, and I'm like, well, I should probably be able to see my toes, so I better start doing something different. And then between the exercise and trying to change the diets and stuff, and it's been a year and a half with no alcohol.
Good for you. Yeah, good for you.
So,
Really.
and it wasn't one of those things where it was like,
He beat you for that, right?
yeah, it was, yeah.
Well, what happened? You just cut it out?
Yeah, well, it was funny because it wasn't that I drank a lot or that often. It was just one of those things where it's like I found out, my mom had diabetes and she passed away from it. My dad's diabetic and he's had a heart
Mine died
attack
from diabetes.
and double valve replacements, double bypass, all this stuff. And I'm just like, it's like liquid sugar, right? I mean, if you drink it, it's just literally, and I just don't want to take the risk. I have 2 kids and I'm like, I'm just gonna put a pin in it, and that was it. I just never
Really?
You know how many of us have fathers? 0.
Dude, see?
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? The good thing is you're doing things to try to keep yourself healthy as well, man. Because 30 years of this, right? I mean, that's still wear on you too. So you got to stay healthy to keep.
Well, you know what? I wasn't going to say this, but now I feel that maybe I should. In October, this past October, I celebrated 8 years clean and sober because I had, because my life was really, in the shitter for a long, long time. And, it was probably one of the hardest things to do and to maintain. It's, I do what I need to maintain it, which is, the thing got bored. The thing was like that.
So, really back to that though, it also kind of goes into like the whole mental health thing, right? I mean, there's so many things going on in this day and age that it's like if you don't look out, things will catch up to you, and then next thing you know, you're bummed, you're depressed, you got things going on, and it's a big thing with men's mental health where nobody wants to talk about it because everybody's like, oh, dude, I'm a guy, I'm Tarzan, I'm a good
So now
shape.
what are you talking about?
Yeah, see?
No, what are you talking about as far as mental health? People are looking.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm on Lexapro for the last 5 years for anxiety.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I even remember that they had given me, what was it called, like lorazepam. One day I actually ended up in the hospital one day. I felt like I was having problems breathing. I'm like, I don't know what the heck was going on. The stress of work and having the babies and writing multiple books and all this crap. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm like, what's going on? And they said, you're just basically, you need to just chill out a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, okay.
Yeah.
So
there should be no shame in it anymore,
especially this day and age, But we're gonna try to save everybody. Especially, I mean, we lost a lot of really good people.
Yeah.
For this particular reason, and that's it.
I'm not trying to do a shameless plug.
Do a shameless plug.
I'm doing a shameless plug.
Shameless plug. You have to get this album.
Okay, who did it? Who designed it?
Ruben Bauer Honig, the album cover. Vessel of Light, Thy Serpent Rise with lyrics.
Yeah, with lyrics. No pictures though. So
That's all right.
we had to put lyrics in, right?
Yeah.
So you chance of vinyl? Are you going to print some vinyl of that up?
No. Honestly.
we might burn it to vinyl. I found a place that I was somewhere in, I think it was Nashville, Tennessee, and then Jack White owns a record shop called
a record shop.
Record shop called Third Rail Records or something like that. And you go in this little booth and you can record whatever you want, and it rips it right to it, scratches it right into a record, man. So that was kind of neat.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it's so old school thing. It was really neat. So, but I went to play it at home, and a lot of it was just like a message to my wife and kids, like, "Hey, I love you. This thing's timeless," blah blah blah. And then I went and played it, and it's like. You can't hear anything. I'm like, oh. So, anyway, we're going to butt it up. Thank you all for watching. Thank you guys again for coming on, and maybe we'll do another one of these here live from one of the shows you guys are going to do.
Thanks for me.
Great.
Check out the albums. Go on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, the whole 9 yards. Get them. Check them out. Vessel of Light, fantastic musicians, and you're gonna be thankful you did.
Thanks.
Dude, thank you.